For this video, we'll be using the solubility chart, which we had created earlier, and using those solubility rules to determine whether or not, or we can predict the solubility in water of some of these ionic compounds. The ionic compounds that were given, A, we want to determine whether or not lead sulfide is going to be soluble in water. So we reference our chart and we look up the ions, either lead or sulfate, and looking at the chart we go, oh look, rule 7 applies to sulfides, and it reads that most sulfides are insoluble with the exception of group 1A sulfides. So for instance, ammonium sulfide. So we'll take a look and we'll see if we have a group 1. So we grab our periodic table, and group 1's over here, so hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. We go, okay, well lead's not on that list. Lead is all the way over here. So rule 7 says that most sulfides are insoluble except for the group 1. So we would say that lead sulfide is going to be insoluble in water. It's literally that easy. So every time that we're given one of these, we just check our chart and determine if it's soluble or not. Let's try another one. B, we are asked to predict the solubility of silver nitrate, AgNO3. So again, we look at our chart and we see, okay, rule number 2, acetates and nitrates. Acetates and nitrates are soluble, no exceptions. So that includes silver nitrate. So soluble in water. Literally that easy. C, we're asked to predict the solubility of sodium bicarbonate, or sodium carbonate, sorry. And we look at our chart again and we say most carbonates are insoluble. Okay, so we look at that and we go, well, we've seen sodium carbonate before and that actually dissolves in water. That's kind of weird. When we look at the exceptions to the rule, it says that most carbonates are insoluble except for group 1A carbonates. So again, we look here at our periodic table, we look down group 1A, and lo and behold, there is sodium. We know that sodium carbonate actually dissolves in water, so soluble. Okay, and lastly, we'll take a look at lead iodide. Referencing our chart once again, we take a look, and rule number 3 says chlorides, bromides, iodides. Most chlorides, bromides, and iodides are soluble with the exception of silver chloride, mercury chloride, lead chloride, silver bromide, mercury bromide, so forth and so on. This lead iodide is actually on our list of exceptions. So it says that most of them are soluble with the exception of lead iodide, therefore insoluble in water.